Welcome to the 7th annual Poetry Slam. Yeah! People always talk about getting tattoos, and they ask me, what would you get if you got one?
I only know her through faded Polaroid shots with peeling edges.
My dream is to be the NBA's best because I'm already Maryland's finest. I'm not even trying to rhyme this because if I did, you would think someone else is behind this.
This is the 7th annual Poetry Slam. So the moment students come into my classroom, they know what's coming. They know it's not soon, but they're very, very anxious about performing, about writing their own poems, and bringing a piece of them to the stage.
I lined up on the flaring hot track in lane 8, shaking with fear. I wondered if someone would false start, wondered if I would get my team a good start. Then as I blinked my eyes a few times, the gunman said, "On your mark."
I believe in following my dreams no matter how many street signs block my path.
All I can do is make you think we were meant to be.
Its beautiful palms, the sweet mango, in my language, the rickshaw bells ringing throughout the capital city as they take over.
I have a brother like you, she said. Used to half-ass things in school, too. Just try. It needs to have a so what. Otherwise, it's not a real poem. It's easy. But what you forget is that not everything has to have a grand point, that you cannot...
So I think the Poetry Slam is a celebration of voice and student ownership, not only of kind of their own words, but also of the program. This is something that's been championed not only by the 8th graders who do this as a topic in their coursework, but also by upper school students, faculty, staff, pretty much anyone who feels that they have something to say. And I think that Barrie putting together a slam like this really not only encourages that, but almost requires it to an extent, that people's voices are meant to be heard. And providing a venue for that only makes it easier.
It tells me a story of love, of hurt, of anger, of regret, and friendship. It takes the pain away, it makes memories, and it helps me block out the world.
When people say it's too hot to go outside, the weatherman says it's code orange, can they just say that you can't go to work, you can't go to school, just stay inside all day?
Well, one of my poems I picked because a lot of people said that they liked it. And the other one I picked because it was like, I like the way that I worded it, and sifting through it, it's tough.
A rush, my mind begins its own riot. It hurts, I'm so confused, but I stall, like an alarm I put on snooze. I must decide before my chance is over, like a drunk man in his life, he's not sober. I'm still thinking.
This class has been particularly interesting because their anxiety was so high in the very beginning that they weren't even sure that today would even happen. We worked with Wheeler Light, who is a 12th grader, who is a poet extraordinaire himself. He goes to slams in the local area. And through working with him and working on metaphor and imagery and how the poems sound and making them rhythmic, the students were really able to bring their best work to the stage.
How many of you guys feel pressure from TV to look a certain way? Raise your hands. Some of you? Some of you? Okay. All right. Sometimes it's a little tough, right? It's a little tough. You're bombarded with these images of Kim Kardashian and Beyonce and, so on and so forth. And it's like, they're beautiful women, but not many women are going to look like them.
I wish I were pretty. I wish I had perfect eyes and controllable hair, but my curls have a mind of their own, separate to the one they are attached to, and they don't want me to be attractive.
Oh Lord, dear Lord, please give me the gift of speech, I pray at night, and hopeful I open my mouth, and what comes out?
What happened? A light flashed and I found myself in a land similar to a Nintendo 64 platforming game. I saw floating platforms. One of them had a pad on it. No wait, 2 of them did.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I hurt you. I'm sorry for spending a whole month talking about the same thing. I'm sorry for freaking out about the hair. I'm sorry for calling that part of you weird.
Why do I like it? Well, I've been a poet for years. I mean, I think I started writing in middle school. And one of the things that is special to me about this time is sitting down with each poet and kind of giving them words of advice or experiences that I've had, working with them on rhythm, things like that, and also learning a little piece of them and sharing a piece of me. So, being a math teacher, I don't always get the opportunity to do that. So this provides a vehicle for an exchange not only of ideas and creativity, but also of experience and relationships.
My heart is an environmental casualty, set ablaze like that mine that was a neighbor of mine once. Noxious gases pouring from gaping wounds, a fire too intense to extinguish with water and distinguish sulfur.
It was not home, the mud of March was nowhere, and the evening roared with hurricanes. I sloshed through Armstrong sounds, sipped my way into a crowd of stick figures, leering in blue blazers, watching the roped man in the middle. The whiskey failed, no Novocaine for this pain, and I wished I was not the tallest stick.
Yeah, they're seniors for sure, basking in the knowledge that their high school years have almost gone, and they're just about done with this chapter in their lives. They're waiting in expectation for celebration for their graduation.
Shel Silverstein wrote articles for a magazine with a bunny for a mascot, if you get my drift, before he wrote poems for children. And before he wrote a poem that intrigued a child's mind and made it more, made a mantra out of itself, serving as a silken seam threading through her many moments. Moments playing school, in school, choosing schools, till she stood in the doorway of a school, inviting students of her own to come in.